So once we have completed with this theory part, so now let's start with this question and answer segment. So first we'll have it, we'll be checking this with the segment wise. So the first question, which of the following cannot be a probability of an event? So we know that the probability, it has to lie between the number 1 and 0. It has to be lesser than or equal to 1 or greater than or equal to 0. Right. You just have to just divide this and check it out and see which is going to be the appropriate answer. So this is somewhat in percentage. So this cannot be the answer. Which of the following cannot be the probability? So this can be, which cannot be, there is a negative. So you cannot even see over here negative. It has to be greater than or equal to 0. Right. So the correct option and appropriate option would be minus 1.5. Clear. Next question. If P of E is equal to 0.05 and you have to find out the P of E complement, right? That is E dash is what you have to find out. We know that the formula is going to be P of E plus P of E dash is equal to E complement is equal to 1. Now that you have to find out E complement, it is going to be 1 deducted by whatever the value you have. You just have to substitute that and final answer you will be getting as 0.95. Clear? Next question. 12 defective pens are accidentally mixed with 132 good ones. So how many 12 defective are actually mixed with 132 good ones? It is not possible to just look at a pen and tell whether or not it is defective. One pen is taken out at a random from this lot. You have to determine what is the probability that the taken out pen is going to be a good one. So basically the question says that there are 12 defective pens which are actually being mixed with the actual good ones, which are, the number is 132 good ones. It is being mixed with. So one pen is being taken out in a random. So you have to determine what is going to be the probability that the taken out pen is going to be a good one. So now how are we going to do this? So in total, how many favorable outcomes do you have? That is 132 good ones you have and 12 defective ones you have. So in totality, it is going to be 144, right? But number of favorable outcomes, that is the good ones only, is what they have asked. That is probability of getting a good pen is going to be 132 divided by 144. So when you just simplify, it is going to be 11 upon 12. Here, next question. A bag contains 5 red and 4 black balls. So a ball is drawn at a random from a bag. You have to find the probability of getting a black ball. See, in this whole chapter of probability, it is all about, if it is defective, you just have to find out the good one as it was, or balls related, or something related to marbles, or cards related, or a dice. This is the whole crux of the chapter. So when you just know the whole formula how to solve that, then it is going to be easy. So in this particular question, you have 5 red balls and 4 black balls, right? You have to find the probability of getting only the black ball. So first and foremost, what are the total possible balls? You have 5 red plus 4 black. So totally 9 balls is what you have in a bag. So they have asked to find just only black balls. It is nothing but 4 upon 9. Clear? Next question. The king, queen and jack of clubs are removed from a deck of 52 playing cards and then shuffled. So what is it they have given? That is, the face cards are being removed from only the clubs part. So in 52 packs there are 4 decks, right? In one deck there are 4 divisions, that is, you know, that spade, diamonds, hearts, like that. From club, this king, queen and jack have been removed. So one card has been selected. From the remaining cards, find out the probability of getting a king. From the other card, you have to find out the probability. But now if I ask you what are the total number of cards which are available with you, totally 4 kings are there, right? In everything you will be having 1, 1, 1 and 1. So out of totally 4 kings, 1 has been already removed. That is, club king has been removed. So it is going to be 3 kings. But in totally how many cards do I have? Totally 52 cards is what I'll be having. 3 face cards are being removed. So when 3 are being removed, so total number of cards I will be having with me is 49. So they have asked select only remaining, from the remaining how many king can I get? one king is already been removed, so I have 3 kings out of 49 cards. Right. Next question. A box contains 5 red marbles, 8 white and 4 green marbles. One marble is taken out at random. What is the possibility or probability that a marble taken out will be either red or not green? Right. First and foremost, first check it out what your denominator is going to be. That is the total number of favorable outcomes. Total number of marbles are going to be 5 red, 8 white and 4 green. So it is going to be totally 17 cards. 17 marbles. So first question is red. So how many red is what you have? 4 you have. So the probability you will be having is red marbles in the 5 red marbles is what you have. So it is going to be 5 upon 17. Not green. Not green is as equivalent as red plus white. See, in this red and white, green is not at all involved. It is nothing but red plus white, which is nothing but 8 plus 5 if you do, you will be getting 13. Therefore, the probability of not getting a green marble would be 13 upon 17. Clear? Next question. Box contains 90 discs which are numbered from 1 to 90. If one disc is being drawn randomly, probability it bears a 2-digit number, a perfect square, a number divisible by 5. So first and foremost, what is going to be your denominator? That is total favorable outcomes. It is going to be equal to 90. First question, 2-digit number. So 2-digit number starts from 11. So 11, 12, 13. So from like this you have to continue till 90. Right. So how many numbers are even it is going to have? So from 1 to 90 it is going to have, see, either you can do 11 till 90 or 1 to 9. See, only 1 to 9 are going to be the numbers which are single digit. So if you deduct that, then the whole complete numbers are going to be 2-digit numbers. So 81 totally you will be having 2-digit number. Therefore the outcome you have to write is going to be 81 upon 90, which is eventually equal to 9 upon 10. So the next sub question is number divisible by 5. So the number divisible by 5, this is 5. So the number divisible by 5. So the next one is going to be, you have to find out the perfect square. Perfect square number which is going to be in the range of 1 to 90. From this 19, between 1 and 90, you have to find out the perfect square number, which is going to be 1, 4 and 9, 16 and like that till what can be your last number. See, 64, 8 times is going to be 64. 9 perfect square would be equal to 81. So that would be my last number. Right. So now my perfect square number would be starting from 1 till 81. You just have to count the number of outcomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So totally your favorable outcomes are going to be 9 favorable outcomes. So 9 out of 90, so which is going to be equal to 1 upon 10. So the next sub question was divisible by 5. So which are divisible by 5? It is nothing but 5 multiples of 5 is what you have to write. So like that, if you just count, totally you will be having 18 favorable outcomes. Starting from 5, 10, 15, 20 till 90, you will be having 18 favorable outcomes. So 18 upon 90, which is equal to 1 upon 5. Right. Next question, a bag contains 5 red balls and some blue balls. If probability of drawing blue ball is double that of red, determine number of blue balls in a bag. See, what is unique in this question? Till now we have been seeing that already all the data has been given to us. You just have to find out the probability. That is, you just have to find out the numerator and denominator. But here they have not given us specifically what are the total number of blue balls in the bag, which we have to find out eventually. So first and foremost, I have to find out blue bags, which I'll be considering it as X. Then therefore number of balls in my bag is going to be 5 plus X. Why 5 plus X? 5 red balls is what you have and number of blue balls I considered it as X. So 5 plus X is going to be my total number of bags. So what is the probability they have asked? One probability it can be is probability of drawing a blue ball. Right. Both of it is regarding the blue ball only, but I can have two cases. In first case, I can just have only blue balls having the only blue balls divided by total. And my second probability would be only red balls divided by total number of probability. Now if you can see, the probability of drawing blue ball is double that of red. That is blue ball is over here. This is red ball. So this is going to be twice of it is what the question says. So now it is nothing but x divided by 5 plus x is equal to 2 times of 5 divided by 5 plus x. This is something according to the question. Right. So now you just have to cross multiply. When you cross multiply and find the answer, you will be getting the value of x is going to be equal to 10. Therefore, 10 blue balls are going to be in the bag, which is what they have asked you in the question. Clear. Next question. Jar contains 24 balls. Some are green and other are blue. If random ball is drawn, what is the probability that green is going to be 2 upon 3? Find blue balls in the jar. Right. First and foremost, how many total outcomes do you even have? They've specified they are going to have 24 balls. So first I'll write my total favorable balls. Again over here you have to find out, let x be the green marbles. Why x is going to be green marbles? They've just given the probability of green is going to be 2 upon 3. But clearly they have not specified these many numbers are there which are going to be green balls. Right. So now if a probability of green is going to be, usually x is what I have considered to be my green marbles. What is the probability it is going to be? It is nothing but g upon 24. But according to the question, p of g is going to be equal to 2 upon 3. So when you are just equating both of it, you will be getting the value of x as 16. Once you get green balls as 16, you can easily find out what are the number of total blue balls, which is going to be 24 minus 16, which is eventually equal to 8. Clear? Even this is one of the unique question. So I suggest you to just refer this once. Next question, probability of having 53 Mondays in a leap year. This, if you can observe, in many model question papers also this particular question has been appeared. So it is one of the unique questions again and repetitive question also. So probability of having 53 Mondays in a leap year. First and foremost, in a leap year, how many days it will have? So number of days in a leap year is going to be 366. Similarly, this is going to contain, so usually 52 weeks are what will be there in a normal year, right? But a leap year is going to have 52 weeks plus 2 days, right? So we are not concerned about this 52 weeks, all we are concerned is about this 2 days. So they have asked 53 Mondays, probability of having 53 Mondays. So Monday is what I have to consider. So first and foremost, for that I have to check the scenarios. So in this 2 days, what can be the possibility I will be having a Monday? That is, it can be Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, like that till Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday. So these are the possible outcomes which you can get max to max. So from this you have to choose only which are going to have Monday. So it is going to be Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday. So these are only two options which I can have. That is Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, Monday. So now favorable cases are Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, Monday. That is 2 out of totally 7 cases. So there were 7 cases over here. Out of 7 cases, only 2 cases are going to be there. So therefore my required probability is going to be 2 upon 7. Clear? Next question. A die is thrown once. So what is going to be the probability of getting a prime number or getting a odd number? So first and foremost, prime number. A die is thrown wherein if it is die is thrown once. Suppose a die is thrown twice, the probability is going to be 2 to the power 6, which is going to be 36 outcomes is what you will be having. But since it is thrown once, the possibility is starting from 1 till 6. That is all you will be having. Right. So prime number from this 1 to 6, what are going to be your prime number? 2, 3 and 5. So the probability is going to be 1 upon 2. Similarly, odd number 1, 3 and 5 are going to be the odd numbers, which is going to be equal to 1 upon 2. Next question. A bag contains lemon flavored candies only. So Mr. A takes out one candy without looking. So what is going to be the probability of orange flavored or lemon flavored? So if you look at the question, it specifically tells that it is only containing lemon flavored candies. So but the question is asking orange flavored. So it so happens that we just look like okay, something is missing in the question, but no, they have specified that it is going to have only lemon flavored candies. It just means that whatever is not there, you just have to consider it as that. So the first question, bag contains only lemon flavored. Right, this is specified in the question. So the first question they have asked is orange flavored. Even if you search also, you cannot take any orange flavored. Hence the probability is going to be equal to 0. And then lemon flavored, it is only having one candy. Right, what is the denominator? It is nothing but 1. Lemon flavored, 1 out of 1 if you can take, it is going to be only one possibility is what you will be having. Right. Next question, something related to card. One exhaustive question will do relating to cards. So a card is drawn at random from a well shuffled deck of playing cards. Probability that a card drawn is going to be card of spades of an ace, a red king, neither king nor queen, a face card, or a card which is neither king nor red card. This is something which we have to look into exhaustively. So first and foremost, basic denominator is going to be equal to 52. That is if it is considered in a pack of deck of cards. So now the first question is card of spades of an ace. Right. So now total possible outcomes are going to be equal to 52. So number of spades. So number of spades is going to be equal to 13. But in that, in totality, how many aces do we have? So we have 4 aces. In out of 52 cards, we will be having 4 aces. So one card is already common. So ace of spade is already common. So that is, you have to consider this 13 plus 4. But one card is common, so deduct that. So in total, you'll be getting 16. So your required probability would be 16 divided by 52, which is going to be equal to 4 divided by 13. Similarly, the next question they had asked for number of red king. So 2 red kings and 2 black kings is what you'll be having. The question is specified 2 red king. So number of red kings is going to be 2. 2 out of 52 is going to be equal to 1 upon 16. Number of king and queen. So there are totally 4 king and 4 queen. So it is going to be 8 upon 52. Suppose if they had mentioned number of black king plus red queen. Suppose if that was the question, black king and red queen. So if that was the case, it would have been 2 plus 2, which is again equal to 4 upon 52. Right. Next question. Next sub question, number of face cards. We already know what are going to be your face cards. That is king, queen and jack are going to be your face cards. Out of that you will be having 4 different sub parts. So 3 times of 4 is going to be equal to 12. So total probability, that is the required probability for number of face cards, is going to be 12 upon 52. When you just simplify, it is going to be 3 divided by 13. And the last sub part is going to be neither red card nor king. So totally you will be having, see, whenever this neither is there, first write your total number. From that deduct whatever is not required. Red card. So how many red cards? You have 2 sets. That is 13 into 2. You have totally 13 into 2 times of red card, which is going to be equal to 26. And nor a king. So how many king do you even have? So 4, that is 2 in black and 2 in red. So 26 minus 4 and neither this or that. So deducted by 2 again. So when you do everything, it is going to be having 26 plus 4 minus 2 is what you have. So when you do 52 minus 28, it will eventually give you 24. Therefore, the required probability is going to be 24 upon 52, again equal to 6 upon 13 when you simplify. Right. Next question. So one question which we saw was relating to cards. Similarly, we'll just have one question which is relating to numbers, which we have already seen this something related to prime number, multiple or anything. Again, when it is a exhaustive like 4 marker or 5 marker question, you can expect one question like this and 3 or 4 subparts. So now the question says a card is mixed with a number of numbers starting from 1 till 25 and it's placed, and if suppose one card is drawn at a random from the box, you just have to find out the probability of getting any of it. So now the first is going to be the prime number. So from this prime numbers, it is going to start from 2. So you just have to find out in totally all your denominator is going to be equal to 25. So just find out the prime numbers and write it over here. Multiple of 3 or 5. 3 or 5, you just have to do it over here. So now, so for the first answer, that is prime number, it is going to be 9 upon 25. 3 or, see the question is asking multiple of 3 or 5. So it just means that other than 3 or 5, you should not consider anything. 3, have I considered 4? No, because it is neither a multiple of 3 nor a multiple of 5. So like that you have to consider it. So total probability you'll be getting is 12 upon 25. Clear? Similarly, the next question is odd number, which is pretty much manageable. Neither divisible by 5 nor by 10. So other than 5 and 10, you have to write everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to skip 5. Again 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 also I have to skip. So 11. So like this till 25. So 25 is also divisible. You just have to write till 24. Count the number of possibilities you have and you can easily write, or you can just choose the other method. From 25, just deduct the numbers which you don't have to consider. That is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. From 25, just deduct 5 numbers. 20 upon 25 is going to be your final answer. Right. Next is going to be a perfect square. So perfect square is nothing but from between 1 and 25, find out the perfect square. That is 1, 4, 16 and 25. These are the maximum possible perfect square which you will be getting. So you just have to write what are going to be your perfect square numbers at the maximum which you will be getting. Clear? So this was something which was exhaustive in this particular chapter, probability. So we have completely covered this chapter we have completely covered the theory portion of it, and mark segment wise also we have almost covered each and every mark wise. So I think this has to be helpful for your studies, and all the best for your studies, and thank you, students.